Hey everybody. So, did a little work today on the airplane. I have carved an oar. I'm going to mount that to the inside of the left, or sorry, the right pontoon. It's going to be mounted somewhere over here. I've got all the struts on the float. Got the step rail on each side. It's really more of just a handhold on this side to pull the airplane into the dock or push it off. It's a step rail on this side where the door is. I've also put in the intermediate struts. It's these little supports that go from the wing strut up into the wing as an intermediate brace, mid-span or almost mid-span of the wing strut. What else? Got the prop on and painted. I carved a rudimentary prop hub and painted it in the accent color. Gosh, that's about it. The windscreen's on, obviously. The rigging is done, so the tail has got its support wires. The floats have their cross bracing wire between the crossbars. I've added the rudder, but not the rigging for the rudder. You have to run a line from the aircraft rudder to a pulley roughly here, a pulley here, and back to our rudder. It's actually a series of pulleys and lines that allow the sea rudder to turn with the aircraft rudder, and also there's another line that goes along the float and then up into the fuselage, and that's the actuator. That's how the pilot can raise and lower the rudder. So the rudder's deployed into the water, dropped down into the water when the airplane is taxiing, but then the pilot retracts it on takeoff so it doesn't get ripped out of the back of the float, and also so it doesn't cause any bizarre movement, skipping motion of the airplane as it picks up speed. Also, the floats need to be retracted for landing. You don't want that thing down when you strike the water on a landing. Again, it could be torn off, or it could cause a sudden unacceptable rotation of the airplane if it's deployed on landing too high a speed. So again, there's a line into the cockpit to either raise or lower the water rudder, and then there's also the rudder control line, which causes it to work in tandem with the aircraft rudder. So all that needs to be rigged, and it's pretty straightforward. It just takes the time. I think that's the next big operation, that one, and just securing. I'll make a couple of styrene brackets for this. Just a simple C-shaped clip at the head, and then the paddle will be secured into something that looks kind of, I don't know, like a, what would it look like? Like a mail bucket for letters, and it would just capture the paddle end of the oar. Oh, and then the other thing I still need to do is put the non-skid, I think, strips. I don't think I'll do the panels, the non-skid paneling. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but typically on floats they have compartments that open from the top, and it's to check and to pump out any water that might be leaking into the floats. And what they do with the non-skid is they just take off each one of those covers and skin them with non-skid, so they actually take on the shape of each of those doors. And that's a process. And I did that on the de Havilland that I made, the de Havilland DH2. But on the Stinson, I just cut strips and laid them on there in sort of a, I don't know, basic pattern, recognizable pattern. It's one I saw in a few reference photos. I just copied that. It's typically what you do is find reference photos of how you want it to look and then just do that. Anyway, this is where we're at with our Aranka Champ. Just a little bit more to do. I do still want to stick a couple of antenna aerials up here, but I think that's it. About 3 little steps, 3 little operations left to do, and then I think it'll be done. Yeah, look at that, Aranka Champion 85, beautiful, nice airplane. A lot more complex to model than I thought it would be. Still working away.